Hey everyone, Kevin here, and this is the TP-Link AV2000 2-port Powerline starter kit, model number TLPA9020P. Now, those of you who watched my video last week about my new PC would have seen that I only had an Ethernet port. There is no wireless network card in the PC, and I did consider buying one, but having looked at a lot of reviews of Powerline adapters, in general, people were saying that you're getting better transfer rates with these. This can go up to 2 gigabytes per second. I don't get that with my internet connection, but it does show you that it does have a lot of potential. Some people have reported that if you have an old house, mine was built in 1955, some have said that you don't get a very good connection. So, you know, I've took a chance, and what I'm going to do in this video is unbox it, and then I'll do some tests and we'll see how it performs. I'll just jump over to my browser just now. You can see it's retailing at £100 just now, but I picked it up in the Black Friday sale for $67. A little bit cheaper in the USA. And we'll jump over to the official website. There we go. This is the official website, and it shows you how it all works. Essentially what this does is connect to your home network. You plug one adapter into your router, connects through Ethernet, and the other one goes close to your computer or your laptop, and you just connect using an Ethernet port. Very simple. And you can see a lot of people use it for the television, they'll use it for gaming, and apparently this reduces lag, better latency, better connection speeds, apparently. So it does show you how it all works on the box. As I said, one, put it in the plug, Ethernet to the router, and the other goes to your laptop or your computer or your TV or your console. And it shows you on here as well, it's got a range of 300 meters, can do up to 2 gigabytes per second, one button security. There's a little button that you can pair with them. So let's see what we've got in the box. Okay, we've got the adapters, and they're a little bit bigger than what I thought. Not necessarily a bad thing. And you can see this one is a pass-through, so you're not losing your plug. You can continue to plug something in and power it, be it computer, console, anything. Okay, so they've actually provided 2 Ethernet cables. This one is Cat5e. This one's Cat5e. Now I've got a spare one here as well. This is Cat5e, and I've actually went out and bought another one, which is Cat7. Now Cat7 can do theoretically up to 10 gigabytes per second. These can do up to 1000 gigabytes per second. So a little bit strange that this says it can do up to 2000, that they're not putting in better cables, but it is what it is. Now, to make the test fair, what I'm going to do is use this laptop. I've tested the Wi-Fi speed already, and you know, my Wi-Fi connection does go up and down, as all people's internet connection does. I'm getting 218 download, 21 upload through the Wi-Fi connection. What I'm going to do is test my laptop with the Ethernet directly to the router, and then we'll test it with TP-Link, and we'll see how it differs. And then, you know, I'll test it upstairs as well. So I'll test it Ethernet directly to the router, then I'll test it using the TP-Link adapter, using the Powerline adapter kit, and then I will go upstairs. It's a little bit further obviously from the router, and we'll see if that affects the speed. And finally I will put it into my PC, and we'll see if we get good connection speed there. But as far as in the box, it is you get a quick installation guide here. Shows you what to do. Self-explanatory there. So I'll bring this up a little bit, you can see it. Plug one into the router, plug one into your computer, and you can add more Powerline adapters. There is a pairing button that you have to press, and you can see here there's actually 2 Ethernet ports there, so you can connect up to 2 devices. So that's really handy. For example, in my room I've got my PC, but I could also connect my laptop if this provides a faster connection rate than Wi-Fi. Then I'll definitely be using these cables to connect my laptop. So let's go down, we'll try this out. Well, it has been a day since I did the unboxing, and after that I did a huge number of tests downstairs and upstairs to get a better understanding of how these things work. So after I tested these things under many different situations, I did a speed test at speedtest.net to get an estimation of the download speed and the upload speed. I did find that regardless of whether I used a Wi-Fi connection, whether I connected using the Powerline adapter, or whether I just connected directly using an Ethernet cable directly from my router to my laptop, I was getting the same upload speed. I was getting about 20 megabytes to 21 megabytes per second. So that kind of highlights that my Wi-Fi isn't restricting my upload speed. My maximum upload speed is being restricted by Virgin. I do have a very good internet connection in the UK. I've got the maximum package. That's, you know, it's the one aimed at gamers and whatnot. But I did a series of tests to see how the download speed would be affected. The very first thing I did was connect the Cat7 cable from my router directly to my laptop. And I didn't actually get very good speeds at that point. I got about 85 megabytes per second, which is a lot lower than what I expected. I replaced the Cat7 cable and I used one of the provided Cat5e cables, and I started seeing over 350 megabytes per second. I was seeing 314, 373 megabytes per second. What I did at that point was replace the 5e Cat cable with the Cat7 cable, and then I was getting about 355 megabytes per second. That illustrated that the download speed for my internet connection, like anyone else's internet connection, it goes up and down. It can be a little bit erratic at times, but it also showed that the cables are fine. Both cables are fine. The main difference between those cables is the fact that the Cat7 cable that I bought is about 3 meters long, and the two provided Cat5e cables are about 1.75 meters long. So what do I do next? Well, if I get here, get the speed results. The next thing I did was plug this into the router. So one, I had an Ethernet cable like this going into the router, and then I connected the other one to a wall in my living room, and I put an Ethernet cable there, the 5e and the Cat7, and I put it from there into my laptop. So now I was using the Powerline adapter, and once you've got it turned on, all you have to do is you push the pair button and all the three lights will light up, and it will do this in both adapters, and that assures you that you have a secure connection. When I did that with the different cables, I was getting 286.94, 318, 355. I was getting anywhere between 250 up to 400 megabytes per second. And that's basically what I was getting directly from the router. So, you know, maybe if I was getting a much faster internet speed, there would be a restriction from here. They do go up to 2000 megabytes per second, 2 gigabytes per second. But, you know, for my internet connection, which is good, I'm not seeing any difference from the Powerline adapters. That's good to know. Now, the next test that I did was to connect the Powerline adapter upstairs. So one of these was sitting downstairs, Ethernet cable directly into the router. The other one was upstairs, and I got a lot of different results. The reason being that the first time what I did was I plugged this into the main I've got like a surge protector multi-adapter down there, and I was seeing speeds of like 267, 224, sometimes as low. I went down to even like 140 at one point. I got 167, 191, and that was from this surge protector down there. But when I tried it directly into the wall there and across down there, I was getting the same speeds I was getting down the stairs. I was getting 346, 335. I was getting really fast download speeds. So it seems to be that when you're connecting these Powerline adapters, you know, I'm not a technical guy as far as how these work, but, you know, when I was plugging it into an adapter that had 5 or 6 other plugs going into it, like a computer, a laptop, all these other things, it was affecting the signal. So I believe to get the best performance for these, you should plug these directly into the wall. And saying that, if you plug this into an adapter and there's nothing else in the adapter, you know, there's nothing else drawing power, then I don't think you would get a problem. But I think it is wise, if you can, plug this into the wall and then plug the adapter into it if you can. Obviously, there are some restrictions as far as where your computer is and how long your Ethernet cable is. So the very, very last thing that I did was I took the Cat7 cable, because it was a little bit longer, and I plugged it into the adapter at the wall. And, you know, one goes into the PC, one goes into the adapter, AV2000, and I was getting speeds 372, 376, 338. It was always between 300 and 400. So, yes, I've shared a lot of results, but what does all of this mean? Well, it means that using these adapters, I'm getting the same speeds I would get down the stairs if I was connecting directly to the router. Now, I was a little bit concerned I wasn't going to see that, because some people say that if you've got an old house, it does depend on your wiring. It does depend on how far you are away. I'm the level above my router, so it's come up, you know, it's going through the electrical system, but I'm only one level above. So meters wise, I'm only like 10, you know, meters or so, maybe less than that. So in that regard, it's okay. But I was concerned that, you know, my house was built about in, you know, mid-50s. So I was concerned that the electrical system wouldn't be good enough. But it does seem that these adapters have no problems with that. So, in summary, these things are awesome. They really are awesome. Whilst I've been sitting here using my laptop, I was never getting any more than 220, 230 megabytes per second. And now I'm going up to 370, 380 megabytes per second, even higher than that. And, you know, my internet connection does go up and down, but using a Wi-Fi connection, I'm never getting as high as I should. You know, I'm getting about 60% or something like that, what I would normally get with a direct connection to the router or via the power line. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. You know, I would highly recommend this to anyone. And I think in the future, I would definitely, you know, use this again. I would maybe buy some more adapters, one for my television, maybe one for another location down the stairs for my laptop. Yeah, very, very happy with them. I think more people should be aware of how good these things are. I know some people are, but when I looked at the wireless network card option, that was an option for me with my PC. You know, I would have been getting the same speed. I would have been getting this 220 megabyte connection speed, which granted again is a good speed, but it's certainly not as high as 350, 360, 380. So I'm very, very pleased with it. You know, I think your mileage will change depending on your setup. I have seen other people reviewing these and saying some people say they're awesome and other people say that they didn't get good speeds. So that was one reason why I wanted to demonstrate the speeds that I was getting. What I did see was, in my house anyway, I'm getting as fast as a connection as I would plugging directly into a router. And the real problem I saw was, you know, connecting through a multi-adapter that had like 6 or 7 plugs in it. And that is to be expected. I mean, this is using an electrical system, and when you're adding a lot more obstacles and a lot more devices to, you know, that adapter, isn't a surprise that the internet speed was a little bit lower. So very easy to use. I love the fact that there is 2 Ethernet ports on the top. That's really, really handy if you want to plug in another device. If you're down the stairs, you could plug one into your TV, one into your computer. Obviously depends on your setup. The pair button, it just turns on now. You know, it will flash, but after you've pushed it the first time up, you know, I've plugged it off and I've turned it back on again, and it just turns on really quickly. So I'm very pleased with it. It's very easy to recommend this, but buy it from a reputable store, either a local store that you trust or somewhere like Amazon, an online store, where if it doesn't give you the same performance that I got, then you can return it. You know, like all these kind of things, guys, all I'm doing is sharing the experience that I had. I can recommend it because very, very positive. It's very, very easy to use, very well made. But there are people stating that it does depend on your electrical system in your home. For any reason you have a really old house, a couple of 100 years old, you might run into problems. I don't know. I didn't, so bear that in mind. I will leave a link to Amazon where you can pick this up, guys. It's probably up in price now after Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that, but I would highly recommend looking into this in the future. If you're not getting anywhere close to your maximum download and upload speeds with your internet connection, I would highly recommend looking into this, guys. You know, Wi-Fi is very handy. Don't need any wires, but if you want a fast connection, and you know, you do get 2 Ethernet cables in here as well. If If you want a fast connection, I would say the Powerline adapter is the way to go. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've got any questions, please do leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer them. Not an expert on this subject, but I will share any tips or any advice that I have, and I'll be happy to do any other tests that you want me to do if there's anything that I didn't cover in this video. Till next time, guys, take care.